All right. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Okay.
I'm super excited.
Okay, so this is the energetic EJ, and
Hi, I'm Damilola Busari.
okay, so we've been in communities together for how long now?
I don't know. At least 5 years.
Wow.
At
This
least.
is the first time we're meeting in person. Oh my god, like.
I'm giving her like how many hugs now? Because I'm a hugger.
I'm a hugger too.
So it was good.
Absolutely. Oh wow.
Good.
So good to see you in person.
Yes.
Good to meet you finally. And yes, so of course I'm not going to meet somebody like Dami and not create a content out of it because
She drags me, literally.
we are all in the voice space where we are actually literally using our voices for impact. So Dami is also in the place where she does MCing, event hosting and things like that. That's something I do. She's also in the community of voices, so she also does voiceovers just like I do. So we have a lot in common in that regard. We are speakers, we are moderators, we are event hosts, and then we also have communities around what we do. And she is a lawyer as well.
Yes.
What part of law do you focus on?
So my core practice areas are company secretarial and intellectual property and entertainment law.
Can you imagine? Perfect.
Yes.
This is somebody we need, to consistently have conversations with around intellectual property, how to position ourselves in this changing economy, in the is it creative or creators economy, one of the two, where everyone is a content creator now.
Yeah.
And there's that need to understand some things that are legal. I know some of them have not yet picked up, in the sense that, for example, not all of us have that access to royalty yet. The copyright laws are still a little bit gray in some areas.
I won't say gray.
Okay.
I would say that for that it's there, but how many people are aware?
Aware, exactly.
Because there's a recent law in Nigeria, Copyright Act of 2023, if I'm correct, and it's stepped up things. Really, it covers digital media and what have you. But are we aware as creators? Or are we just in that space of I'm catching vibes, enjoying myself, catching cruise? Have you even seen it as a business? Because by the time you see the business side of your creativity, you tend to sit up.
Right.
You tend to sit up. You tend to take things more seriously. But most people really are just creatives, freestyling, freelancing, nothing serious. So it comes, yes, it doesn't come, to another thing. So I think that's the space we're in, but things have to change.
Absolutely. And I love that what you just said, that things have to change. I am on that table as well, this table that you just shook. Like, okay, we're just doing content, we're good at it. It's our talent and everything, But if we really want to take it seriously to the next level, like what we're talking about, being a player in the field, we really need to find a way to dot our I's and cross our T's, right?
Absolutely.
So quickly, in this short, impromptu, unplanned session that we're having, I just want you to give us a few insights into some of those laws you mentioned around creators, right? What are the easiest thing or the simplest thing that we should be aware of to start that journey of being, if we want to play seriously in this space, what do we need to pay attention to? Get a lawyer.
So I whispered it, but I'm serious. You should get a lawyer. And it's not as far-fetched as you think. If you think, I don't want to get a lawyer, then you must have a lot of time on your hands to sit, read, and know the law. But that won't be enough on the long run, because I'm hoping that you're playing the long run game. I'm hoping that you're playing for impact, you're playing for posterity. And so you would actually need a lawyer. Get a lawyer. Take yourself seriously as a creative. Know that this is something that would have lasting impact. Okay, so if you take yourself seriously, you would know that you must invest in the long run. Get a lawyer. Get things formalized. In this industry, we have too much talk. There's no agreements. It's just So it's talk. There's just so much talk. And getting a lawyer will get you into that business mind, because obviously you're paying your lawyer. It's not for free, right? Will get you into that business state of mind, if you allow me to put it that way, where you know there have to be agreements backing up every gig that I get. And when someone also approaches you to say, oh, I have an offer for you, they bring a contract, you don't just sign it. There's arguments right now in the creative industry, and there always will be, as far as I'm concerned, because people are not well informed, guided before they get into agreements. The worst part, some people even just say they are cutting corners, cutting costs. You download agreements from the internet. I pity you. You know, it's so painful, because creative work, it's God's inspiration and your blood and sweat and tears. We put a lot of ourselves, of our emotions, of our gifts, of our passion into any creative endeavor, and it takes time. There's hardly any creative work that you're not invested in as a creator.
Right.
So imagine you going through that process. You've envisaged returns in the future, and because of some silly mistake, some line in the agreement that was not reviewed by a lawyer, that was not supposed to be there in the first place, poof,
gone.
Everything is gone. So ensure that your legal is solid. Not only are you getting a lawyer, get an accountant as well. Have a team of professionals working with you. Most creatives think, oh, I just need a manager to push me. It's not about publicity. Let me be viral. Let me blow. Fam, it's not only about that. You need a team of professionals around you as a creative to actually help you succeed on this space and to help you do this for the long run, for the long term. So don't think here and now that 50K or that 100K, when in the long term, just like compounding interest, you could have made millions from that deal, but you shot yourself in the foot because you were unaware, you were ignorant, and you were ill prepared for the opportunity that came your way. And speaking about the future now, before we came on camera, we're talking about AI.
Right.
And all that's going on and how that's disrupting the creative space, especially as voiceover artists.
Yes.
And Adriel gave this brilliant idea. We've complained, I've complained about the quality of voices for AI that we have right now on the internet, especially
for Africans. Yes, we're not well represented yet.
Even in Nollywood, the African accent, pardon me, in Hollywood, the African accent is borderline.
It's not there yet.
I am African, don't you know? We don't speak like that. There's tons of countries in Africa. There's here in Hollywood movies, they say I'm going to Africa. Fam, there are countries. It's not like
it's not like one. It's not like
one
one
city. You know, so
right.
Doing this, that first mover advantage again. We've identified the problem. What are we doing to get in? Are we sending maybe demos or proposals or what have you to the tech giants to say, we've identified this. Africa is a large market. In fact, it's so lucrative that we're the world's darling. You want to sell anything, come to Africa.
Absolutely.
Really. So if you want to sell and sell well, if you want to serve Africa well, why not partner with us? There's AI now. We're pissed that as against being paid as voice artists, someone just goes on an app or a website and they have a voiceover job. Well, hi, instead of being pissed, we're saying, pitch. Say, get your solution, get a team of friends. Are there associations of voiceover artists saying, hi, we have voices from Yoruba, from Swahili, from all over.
Yeah.
Record our voices. Use this as your template to build. Let this be your data bank, right? And eventually when someone has to do something about it, you're being paid. And the beautiful thing about intellectual property is, if you do it right, is a lifetime of cashing out. Is a lifetime of cashing out.
I love this.
So it's us coming together, because trust me, you can't do this alone. I'm a female.
No.
There'll be scripts that would need a male voice. There'll be scripts that will need a voice from this part, from that part. But are we thinking about collaboration, about doing things together as against me, myself, and I?
Right.
Blow. There's a lot.
There's a lot of work to be done, and for the longest time I've carried this burden. And at some point, I actually felt like a failure, right? Because the company that was registered for this purpose, which is to, be like the top aggregator for audiobooks for African authors, didn't really pan out the way that I expected. Well, because of course I was foolish. I didn't know anything about business, and I can't even boast that I do right now. But I have my mind in the right places. I have access to the right communities, and I've worked with amazing people, as a coach, to know that there is a lot to be done, and it's not undoable. Yeah. It's a lot of work, but it's doable. It's possible, and it's like you said, it's not something we can do alone. And I've always known that for sure. Like this vision of this audio space for Africans is not something I can do alone. But the question is with who? Who are the right people who carry the same burden as I do, right? And now I feel like it's coming back. It's boiling again in me, and I'm beginning to see or connect the dots to see some of the people that actually can be on board this. Of course, you just roped yourself in right now. With this content, we need you as a lawyer. I have a partnership with Warritor, which is a publishing firm here, and I know we're also working around the audio space and things like that. And I just really, really want to be a part of the growth that would happen in that industry when it comes to voices in Africa, and leaning into tech, to really register our voices, to be represented really, because the vision for me was to make African authors leave a digital footprint, in the audiobook space. And I'm hoping that this vision is coming alive again. Amen. And this is just a conversation to say, you know what? When it's almost like when the time is right, there's that saying that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and it appears the same way. When the teacher is ready, the student will appear. And this vision, I feel like, is rearing its head again. But I know that it doesn't even have to have my name on it, but I have to play in it. I have to play a role in it, and so I'm willing to keep shouting it now again, as I also come back in another dimension around the voice. So this is something I really want to sit in, but we'll talk about the lawyer part now, because I truly need a lawyer. But thank you so much,
thank you,
Lawyer Dami, event host Dami, my sister,
Jesus God Dami, most importantly.
Thank you so much for this impromptu, unprepared, but that's what it is when you are full. When they press you, is what is inside that will come out. And so I'm grateful to God for the amazing people that I am now in touch and in contact with. So expect some of these spontaneous sessions with amazing minds that I get in touch with every now and then. So thank you, sis, for just jumping on this.
Thank you. Glad to hug you again.
All right, guys, until my next spontaneous conversation, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.